Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, I am going to be doing my review for the match that just took place between the Blues and the Hurricanes. As you can see, the Blues were able to get a win by 10 points, 27 points to 17, and it was a very exciting match to watch that was being played at Eden Park. But if you do enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, let's get right into these stats. So, before the match, I couldn't decide who I thought was going to win this one. Of course, Blues with the home advantage, coming off the loss against the... Did they come off a loss? I feel like I've gotten myself confused, but we did get to see that they were sitting on 10 points before this one. The Hurricanes sitting in last, coming off the win against the Highlanders on 5 points. I'm having a shock and my brain is scrambled because that was a very back and forth rugby, definitely with how it ended. It looked like for a second the Hurricanes had a late comeback in them, but just not quite able to get there in the end. So the tries in this match, first of all, we had the yellow card of Duplessis Karefi. That was in the 16th minute, and that one, he did go off the field for the 10 minutes. And during that time, the Hurricanes were actually able to get 3 points, so it wasn't too bad for them. But the first points of this match only came in about the 20th or 25th minute, I think, somewhere around there. So it started a little bit late, but then from there, it did just ramp up big time, and we did get to see a lot of penalties between these two sides. We thought that there would be, and that is exactly what we had. A yellow card for Ardie Savea in the 32nd minute, and it wasn't just a yellow card. It was a penalty try to the Blues, so that was a big hit as well. Some people say Ardie Savea, maybe he ended up, it was a little bit harsh in some regards, some people feel, because he had kind of made his way through the middle of the rack. I've forgotten how to talk on this live stream. We've just finished the hour and 55 one where we were talking flat out with the chat. And then, yeah, now my brain just isn't quite working. We have got Henry Samuel and also Morecake in the chat as well. Should I get Rugby Challenge 4, Rugby Challenge, should I get Rugby Challenge 3? Rugby Challenge 4 is too expensive. I mean, you could do, because of the fact that in Rugby Challenge 4, it's kind of just updated teams and kind of kits and that kind of thing. So maybe you could go for Rugby Challenge 3 if you did want one to play. But yeah, in this match from their halftime, it was 10 to the Blues, 9 to the Hurricanes. Or actually, it was the other way around. I believe it was 10 to the Hurricanes and 9 to the Blues. No, it wasn't. It was 9 to the Hurricanes and 10 to the Blues. And then from there, TJ Faiani, back in that number 12 jersey, was able to pick up the try for his side in the 50th minute. And then after that, the next try of the match came for Mark Talia in the 65th minute. That was a very nice backline movement that they used. But yeah, the penalties, there was a lot of this game played under advantage, and they were making the most of those opportunities, the Blues. And then the last try of the match was scored by Reed Prinsep. That was in the 76th minute, and that made it so that the Hurricanes, because of a conversion that was missed by Geordie Barrett at that stage, it meant that it was only a 7-point game, and the Hurricanes off kickoff needed to go 80 metres to be able to win this match, but just not quite able to do it. And in the end, they did end up giving away the penalty, which was what got the Blues that extra 3 points for this match to end 27 to the Blues, 17 to the Hurricanes. So now with the updated table, as it will be sitting, the Crusaders are in first on 18. The Blues are sitting in second on 14. And then also Highlanders are sitting on 9 points in third. Chiefs are on 8 in fourth. And the Hurricanes at the moment are sitting on 5 in last. We have also got Sandra Dobson in the chat has said, hi, welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. But yeah, we are going to be getting into all of the stats to do with this match. But like I mentioned, 2 yellow cards against the Hurricanes in this one. I will quickly pull up my stats so I can let you guys know exactly how this match took place. We have also got Zion in the chat has said hi and welcome to the live stream as well. But yeah, during this match, it says that the Blues, they did get 2 tries and then a penalty try. So if Reed Prinsep hadn't scored that try in the 76th minute, it would have meant that they would have ended up getting that bonus point for the Blues, which could have put them only 3 points behind the Crusaders. We have got Zion with Ahoiba Devil emojis as well, and Morecake has said nah. But defenders beaten, these stats won't be exactly what they are. This is just the kind of first initial stats that do get posted. So we have got turnovers conceded, 13 for the Blues, 11 for the Hurricanes. This game was back and forth, and I feel like everyone knew that it would be. The tackles, the Blues had to make 140 compared to only the 73 of the Hurricanes. But then an interesting stat there, the tackles, or the missed tackles, I should say, 10 missed tackles for the Hurricanes, but only 12 for the Blues. So the Blues were a lot more clinical when it came to that tackling game. And it was showing because the Hurricanes, they just weren't quite able to find those gaps that they were after. And penalties conceded, it was actually only 9-9, according to this as well. So that is pretty good that we only had 18 throughout this match. It did seem like a few more, but maybe that was because we had quite a few advantages that did end up not going to a penalty. How does a preview work? So pretty much what a preview is on live stream or just on a video, I guess it is in this case, would be the fact that pretty much they can watch it as if it's a live stream. So let's say your video is 10 minutes. So then if you put it as a preview, your video will go live at, say, 9:15 p.m. And then that's 10 minutes worth of the video. So if someone clicked on it at 9:20, they would start watching it from 5 minutes through. So it's kind of like watching a live stream from where or watching a video from where you've clicked on it. And then after the 10 minutes is up, it is just any time they do. It will go back to the start. Will you do a Munster live stream today? Says Sandra Dobson. I don't think I'll be doing too many of the Champions Cup games, unfortunately, just because of the fact that they are on in the middle of the night. But I am looking at possibly maybe, since it is the round of 16, I don't think I'll do any of these games. I was kind of just waiting to see because of the fact that for Super Rugby AU, we actually ended up getting a copyright strike for doing what we did for Super Rugby Aotearoa, the watch-along kind of thing. So I'm worried that that could happen for one of those games, and then we'd be in the situation of not being able to stream any of the New Zealand or Australian games. But hopefully that wouldn't happen, and it would be kind of cool to do a few more of those Northern Hemisphere games. And yeah, there will be some very good ones in there as well. And you have put okay. But nonetheless, yeah, it was a good match to watch this one. 2 yellow cards against the Hurricanes, like I said. So it wasn't quite ideal for them in that regard, but they had some very busy players on the field. The most meters on the field at this stage, of course, these aren't completely confirmed, but at this stage, I believe these may only be the first half stats. But Perofeta had the most running meters, followed by Hoskins Tutu. He had a very good game for the Blues, and then tied between TJ Faiani and Caleb Clark. So yeah, they had some very good games, the Blues backs, for this one. And Hoskins Tutu in that number 8 is a dangerous runner of the ball. Like, unless you shut him down early, he will just keep on going. Someone else, Tom Robinson, he didn't have as much of an impact out there as he did off the bench, but I think he still was very busy. Also, Dalton Pawali, the loose forward trios for both sides, they had pretty decent games overall. Then for the Hurricanes, it was Julian Savia actually had the most running meters as of when these stats have been published. That is 53 meters. So I feel like a couple other players, Salisi Rayasi up there as well. So the wings were very busy for the Hurricanes, and then Laumape and Adi Savia tying on 29. But yeah, like I said, I think they will be possibly ending up updating a little bit later on. Tackles though, 15 for Dalton Pawali. He is a tackling machine, and also won 2 turnovers for his side. So he was very busy in that number 7 jersey. And I think Duplessis Karefi, it will be a competition between him and also, Pawali, of who was able to get the top tackling numbers. TJ Faiani in that midfield, 11 tackles. He always seems to make a lot of tackles in that midfield, and it does seem to help his side out as well. Sam Darry, busy game, and also Kauli Tuioti, 12 and 10 for those two. Then it actually says that Karefi only made 5 tackles. So I feel like it may not be completely updated, but if that is the case, he was not as busy as I thought he was. He did end up going off the field for 10 minutes, of course. And for the Hurricanes, Tyrell Lomax had 8 tackles, and then Billy Proctor and James Blackwell both having 7. So I guess maybe that was the case because of the fact that they only made pretty much half the tackles as the Blues. So that actually could be accurate, but he did end up winning a turnover for his side. Adi Savia was one of the men who did manage that. Penalties, turnovers 1. The Tiro Tole, throws 1. That is for lineouts. We will forget about that one. But yeah, nonetheless, those are kind of mainly all of the stats that are half updated. So I will stop reading those ones as well. We have also got, I will watch it today. I am from Ireland, Ulster, but I watch Munster games as well. And that's one thing that I'm excited for, that top 14 Rainbow Cup that is going to be a very interesting one when you do have the top 14 sides. And then also you have the addition of the South African side. And I think it's kind of like a trial to see whether or not they go to that Pro 16, which could be interesting. Arbin has said hi as well. Welcome to the live stream, mate. But yeah, the tries in this one, the first try was a penalty try. Second one was scored by TJ Faiani. Third try was scored by Mark Talia. And then the final try of the match was scored by Reed Prinsep. And we have also got, is there an AU game today? There is indeed, Uncle Bills. It is going to be the Rebels versus the Reds. So that is going to be the game that is going to be on in probably about 30 minutes is when kickoff is going to be. Yeah, I will also watch that too. Says Sandra, yeah, there's going to be some good games of rugby coming up. And I am very excited for it. Also, Super Rugby Trans-Tasman is only maybe 5 weeks away as long as everything goes to plan. And then we have also got the British and Irish Lions Tour kicking off in less than 3 months' time, I believe, at this stage. So there's a lot of good rugby that we are going to have on our hands in the near future. And I am very excited for all of it. But yeah, nonetheless, I think even though we have only been going for about 11 minutes, I think that's almost going to be the end of this little bit of a post-match review because of the fact that the stats aren't completely updated to that stage that we would like. I'll quickly run through the sides and let you know what I thought of player performances. So Tuanuki Afi ended up having that knee injury kind of early on in their match, which did look a little bit not too great for the Blues because of the fact that it was kind of a knee-on-knee, and those ones are always pretty painful. Tuanga Fasi having his 101st match for the Blues. He played decently. Also, Cowley Tuioti and Darry made a lot of tackles for their side. Tom Robinson was a little bit quieter than I expected, but Papali'i, he made 15 tackles. He was a busy boy. And also Hoskins Satutu, very good off the back of that scrum and also just running around the side of the ruck, looking strong. Sam Knock, decent game overall. Teddy Black, he had his moments, but he also at times just couldn't quite find that rhythm that he would have liked. How are you? Says Arbin as well. I'm good. My voice has almost gone already, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, I don't think it would have lasted for a Super Rugby AU stream, but I am hoping to do the Reds versus Brumbies game next week as well for one of those ones. So that will be one to look forward to. Caleb Clark, decent game after a slightly not great start in terms of dropping the ball a couple of times. TJ Faiani, number 12 jersey, I think that's his from now on because he played well there. Also scored himself a try. Rieko Ioane, he set up one of the tries, which was the Mark Talia try, who was on his outside. And that one was a decent one, but very quiet overall. Some of the Blues backs, I felt like they didn't seem like they were going to be as kind of shut out of the game as they were at times. But that's because of the fact that they had to make about 140 tackles for the Blues. So that was, of course, taking up a bit of their time. Then they had Mark Talia, decent game, and Stephen Perafeta, number 15. I feel he is slotting into that role quite nicely for the Blues. Then Fraser Armstrong off the field very early. I'm not sure whether that was an injury or whether that was just a plan, but he was off the field for Xavier Numia. Then it was Dane Cole's decent game, but a little bit quiet a little bit later on in or early on in that second half. Then we have got Tyrell Lomax, decent for him. Blackwell and Scrafton, those kind of lock pairing there, a pretty decent one for the Hurricanes. Reed Prinsep, Karefi and Savia looked pretty decent. And unfortunately for them, though, it was yellow card for Savia, yellow card for Karefi, and then also try for Reed Prinsep. So that was the best out of the three. Then you'd say Luke Campbell, again, is doing decently. He's very early in his Super Rugby Aotearoa competition kind of career, but he has been going decent in that number 9 jersey. Auburn Ledger in the number 10 jersey. Unfortunately for him, I feel like everyone will remember the moment that was the fact that he did drop that ball right at the end of the game when they were only a few meters out. But then in the end, they were able to win that scrum against the feed or win the penalty in that scrum only 5 meters out from the Blues line, and they were able to score it anyway. So that was good news for them. Jack says he was at the game. So hopefully you did enjoy it, mate. What did you think of it? And also, who would you give man of the match to is a good question. It's going good so far for the editing, the Rieko Ioane one for James Gordon as well. But yeah, from there, Salisi Rayasi, number 11 jersey, looked very good. Julian Savia on the other wing looked decent as well. So I feel like that might be the combo that they go with going forward. Then Nari Lamape Proctor in the centres. Just very busy men when it comes to that 12 and 13. And then Geordie Barrett, unfortunately for him, he wasn't quite able to find that momentum that he found in the match against the Highlanders. He was on fire in that match against the Highlanders, picking up 30 points. But in this one, I think he may have only been able to pick up around, I got to do some maths here, maybe around 10? 10? No, he would have picked up at least 12. He probably picked up, about 12 points in this one. So only about a third of how many he got in the match against the Highlanders, but still decent performance from him. I would give it to Mark Talia, says Jack as well. Yeah, he did have a good game, Mark Talia, out on that right wing. Busy boy as well. And yeah, he managed to score that try in the 65th minute. But then in the end, who did they actually brought on AJ Lamb on debut for only about, I'd say maybe 5 minutes. And I don't actually think he touched the ball or made a tackle there. So hopefully he does get more opportunities in the future than only the last kind of few minutes, because he is a strong player for Auckland in the Mitre 10 Cup. And then also I would say Akira Ioane, that last moment when him and Rico Ioane held Auburn Ledger off the ground, like together, the brothers, they were like, yeah, nah, we are keeping your knee off the ground and you are going to be giving us the scrum. And that is exactly what they did. And then Nepo Lalali, he ended up having a bit of an injury at one stage. He looked like he had something wrong with maybe one of his eyes, but he still had not too bad of a performance. Alex Hodgman out there a little bit earlier than he would have expected. Decent from him as well. And then Devin Flanders looked decent off the bench, as well as Tamatine, and Pitu Umanga Jensen didn't do too bad either. But that is the full kind of rundown, in my opinion, of what happened throughout this match. I hope you guys did enjoy it as well. And we have got 2 matches next week, which we do have to look forward to. I am going to quickly have a look in my little book that I've got, which does have all of the schedule and everything in it. And the next week's matches, it is going to be the Hurricanes versus the Crusaders. That one is going to be on Saturday night. And then it is going to be the Highlanders versus the Chiefs. And that one is going to be on Friday, I believe. Unless, of course, it is an afternoon game that I don't know of. But at this stage, I believe, first game is going to be the Chiefs or Highlanders versus Chiefs at Forsyth Bar. And then the next game is going to be Hurricanes versus Crusaders at Sky Stadium. Good games of rugby next week as well. And also a very good round of rugby once again for round 6 of Super Rugby Aotearoa. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this little post-match review. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And I will see you all next week for some more Super Rugby. I will see you all in the next one.